biofuel whiskey making. Now, Peter is an agricultural scientist. I like this. He's a farmer. He's a distiller. I was talking to the kids today about that space between science and art. And there's no art without art. And you're also a sculptor and an inventor. Sometimes referred to as a mad scientist or the Willy Wonka of whiskey. That's my kind of bio. I like that. Constantly thinking renewable energy, biofuel, carbon capture, soil carbon, reduce, reuse, recycle. He's passionate about leaving his patch in a better environmental condition for the next generation. Brace yourself. Peter Bignell.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, look, Costa said quite a bit. I'm a farmer, a scientist, and look, I just love recycling, reusing. I've got a real worn track up to the South Harbour tip shop and not across to Mornington. I'm always going to those two places, wrapping around the yards. But I was farming, just sheep farming. I had a strawberry runner nursery that went out of business because one of the chemicals they used got banned. So I had a really good crop of rye corn one year because I feed the sheep on the green grass that grows huge crops of green grass, this rye corn. And anyway, one year you had a really good crop of grain off it, and I thought, I'm going to sell this grain, I'm going to harvest all this and sell it because the strawberry runner business had basically gone kaput. And anyway, so I harvested it all, couldn't sell it. And I thought, I know, I'll build a whiskey distillery and turn into whiskey there. So I've been making biodiesel for quite a few years to run the tractors and any diesel vehicles on the farm out of biodiesel. And so I thought, I'll obviously run the whiskey distillery on biodiesel. So I've got some burners, just ordinary old diesel burners. They'll run biodiesel, running the still and the hot water on that. And about a year in, I discovered that I was really spending too much time making biodiesel and not enough time making whiskey. So I modified the burners and made them run on just straight cooking oil. So luckily, my distillery and my farm, my house is just north of Mood Food. Mood Food's got plenty of oil there from the takeaway. So every few weeks I run the biodiesel powered tractor down to Mood Food and pick up a 1,000 litre tank of old cooking oil. Take it back to the distillery, filter it, just crudely filter it, and then burn it through these modified burners that you just warm the oil up. You've got a nozzle in them that's got compressed air and the spark plug and the lights and away they go. Also heat my house on it. So I've got a hydronic heating system in the house that pumps hot water through the house, and that used to be a diesel burner in that. Diesel got too expensive, it got abandoned, running on wood for a while, and then I got sick of going out late at night in the frosty night to stoke the big wood heater out in the shed, and so I converted the old diesel boiler over to running on old cooking oil. So yeah, only about once a week now I've got to go and do anything in there in the heater shed outside. But the old cooking oil, I love it because it's a renewable energy. It's renewable. It's carbon dioxide's been captured by the plants. We burn it, goes back to the atmosphere. So it's not actually capturing any, but it's just leaving. The CO2 is still the same as it was before. We're not actually adding to it. So the distillery runs on a big burner that runs underneath my still, and also got another burner that runs hot water and steam. That actually burns straight on the bottom of the still. Actually produces lovely, beautiful flavours in the still, like caramelising. It's like when you cook a piece of toast. It's called Maillard reaction. It get a lovely smoky note through the whiskey, not from peat smoke, but it's just a different taste. But I just love this recycling, reusing, not wasting anything, and also the rye corn that I grow. It grows this tall. I've got photographs of some of the people working the farm. They're in the middle of this crop, and you can't even see them. Except peeking out through the. Talking about it looks like sweet corn. It grows that tall, and all that straw is actually carbon dioxide that's been locked up. I don't burn it. We harvest the seed off the top of it and just bash it down. The sheep come in and eat some of it, and then it just gets bashed down, and gradually over the next 12 months the worms and the bugs in the soil come up and cart it back down to the soil. So I'm adding to the soil carbon, which is really, really good. There's a lot of talk about soil carbon. So we've had to that's carbon capture we got there. Also up at Bothwell, part of our farm's up near Bothwell on the way into Bothwell on the left hand side, a couple of kilometres out. Greening Australia planted 30 hectares of trees up there. So that's for research for carbon capture. So with that 30 hectares of trees, the rye corn with all the carbon capture there, ploughing that back into the soil again, biofuel, little bit of hydroelectricity, I reckon I'm actually carbon negative. I actually capture more carbon than fossil fuel I use. You know, the fossil fuel is very, very, very little fossil fuel. So, you know, and as Costa said in my little introduction, I want to leave, you know, I'm only custodian of the land. I'm only there for a short time really in the whole history of the world. And I just want to make sure that the land that I looked after while I was here, I hand it on to the next generation in equivalent or preferably much better condition than I got at it, because the farm I'm on was really, the land was flogged a fair bit over the years by cropping for supply Hobart with all their food and things. And since I've been there for 15 years now, I'm sure that the soils there are a lot better than they were. I don't overgraze. I've got quite a lot of native pasture on the place, and I'm very, very passionate. I'm 6 generations have been farming now. My brother's kids are 7th generation now farming. So we certainly understand the land, and we don't want to waste it. But that biofuel, that waste cooking oil, is just such an easy thing to use. Someone told me they actually used it here. Is that right? They used to heat here, and somehow it got a bit messy. So anyway, it's unfortunate. It does take a little bit of work, but it's almost free, and I just love doing it. Thank you.